Have you ever stepped into an assistant principal interview with that feeling of, I'm just a teacher who's pretending to be a leader? That nagging whispering in your ear, are you really ready? Well, trust me, that level of uncertainty, many of us feel it. You are not alone. But let me tell you that your experience as a classroom teacher and as a professional educator has given you skills, knowledge, and expertise that are invaluable to serve as an assistant principal. And in today's episode, we're going to explore 3 strategies and a bonus tip that will help you confidently step into your next assistant principal interview. Grab your pen, grab your piece of paper, get ready to take some notes because we're going to get started right now. Hey there, Dr. Gordon Amerson here, Superintendent of Schools and Gallup Certified Strengths Coach. And on this channel, we leverage my experience from classroom teacher all the way to the Office of School District Superintendent to help you go further, faster on your educational journey. If this is your first time with us, welcome in. Thank you so much for being here. While you're here, don't forget, hit that subscribe button as well as the bell notification so you don't miss any cool updates, any of our latest episodes, or any of our latest content. So I'm really excited for this episode. We haven't talked about the assistant principal position in a while on our channel. We haven't had an episode about the assistant principal and more specifically about the assistant principal interview. So buckle up because we've got some things today that we want to talk about that are going to help you set your right mindset, set the right mentality. This is not an episode that's about like the technical aspects of how to answer a specific question or what the question is going to be about student discipline or communicating with parents. But instead, I want to help you think bigger, broader, the mindsets, the mentality, and the way you should be tackling interview questions, the things you should be doing as you prepare for the next interview, and how to get your mind right. So we're going to get into 3 strategies that are going to help you excel, and then a bonus tip. So stay to the end because we're going to get into that bonus tip, and that's going to give you an even more powerful framework of how you can actively prepare for your next assistant principal interview. So without further ado, let's jump into strategy number 1. All right, let's talk about strategy number 1. And strategy number 1 is to share specific leadership examples. So I want to caution you on staying too generic in your responses. When you're interviewing for leadership positions, it's all about what you've done. It's all about what concrete examples can you bring to the table of specific things that you've led, you've designed, you've implemented, or you've built. So as an example, when I went to interview for a director position, I wanted to showcase and highlight the different things that I had done concretely as a high school principal. And so I talked specifically about developing a robust middle years program that was going to feed into one of the most world-class international baccalaureate diploma programs. So how we built partnerships with the middle school, how we built a bridge to make sure that that program was truly that middle school program, that middle years program that ran from grade 6 through 10th grade. That was a specific program that I led, that we designed, that we developed in consultation with the team that I led at the high school. But that's a specific example. Another specific example would be when I was an assistant superintendent, I redesigned the entire evaluation system for the 7th largest district in the state of California. The entire evaluation system for all employees, both certificated and classified. We redesigned those systems. Now, as a leader, I didn't do it by myself, but I led the team. So I'm talking about specific leadership examples. So thinking about examples, the last one I'll give you, as a superintendent, passed a bond, a community facilities bond that allowed us to modernize facilities and build a brand new high school gym in the district where I was superintendent. Specific leadership examples. Now, why specific leadership examples? Well, when you give those concrete details, it may connect and resonate with somebody on the panel. Maybe they have a shared experience. Maybe they did similar work. Maybe you tap into one of their passions. But when you share those specific concrete details and you go beyond just the generalities, beyond just the kind of vanilla responses, you're going to be coloring in the dots that they will want to know and they'll be able to connect with. And so one last thing I would give you in this particular area would be to think about using a specific framework that will help to give you a specific way to flow through and give a good solid answer. And so again, we've talked about this a lot on our channel, and that framework is the STAR framework: situation, task, action, and results. So taking people through the STAR framework, and we'll link it up in the card, and we'll also have a free resource that we'll provide to you as well. But using that framework is a great way to organize your thoughts and give a very, very, very strong, detailed, fluid answer by using that framework. So giving specific leadership examples is strategy number 1, and it's an absolute must do. All right, before we go to strategy number 2, go to the pinned comments below. We're going to have a free resource, a free gift for you. So if you click that pinned comment below, you'll be able to download a free resource that's going to help you as you prepare for your next leadership interview. Go to that pinned comment and grab that resource. And let's move to strategy number 2. All right, strategy number 2. Align with the school's vision. If you're interviewing for the assistant principal position, your job as the assistant principal is going to be to help the principal execute on their vision. So learning what the school's vision is that the principal has laid out is critically important, because what that principal, and quite frankly, what the other panel members and the other district officials who may be a part of your interview process, what they are looking for is your ability to know what that vision is, be able to connect with that vision, and then be able to showcase your expertise of how you will help that vision become a reality. So aligning with it, learning what it is, what are the key initiatives, what are the key programs, what are the key data points, what are those key performance indicators that the school is looking at, what are the key things that the district wants to see measured, what are the key student achievement initiatives, what are the key social emotional learning initiatives that are happening at that particular school site. But learning what the vision is and then figuring out how you align with that and what your skills and your knowledge and your expertise is and how you can add value to that vision and add value to that key and critical work that's happening. That is going to be your mission. That's going to be your job to figure out how do you showcase and align the work that you have done, the work that you look forward to doing, and how that all aligns with what the principal's vision is, and then what your expertise is, and then how do you showcase that back to the panel. Okay. But if you can show those key areas where you can connect with the school's vision and that it aligns with your skill set, that's the secret sauce. So aligning with the school's vision, do your research, do your homework, read up on it, read, review, look at those easy data sources, looking at the school's website, looking at the school accountability report card, looking at whatever information you can find, and then going a step deeper. Start looking at social media. What is the school showcasing? What is the school highlighting? They'll tell you what their vision is by what the things they broadcast and that they talk about and that they're proud of, right? And then find ways to align with it. Because as you align with the school vision and you articulate that, that's going to gain the principal's interest, and that's going to give you a line forward to become that candidate that becomes the assistant principal. So aligning with the school's vision, that's strategy number 2. All right, before we move to strategy number 3, share with us in the comments below, how will you do that research? How will you go and seek out how you align with the school's vision? What research will you do? What resources will you tap? But share that with us in the comments below, because that's going to help, again, it's going to help our community. What types of resources and data sets are you going to look for? Because that might add value for other folks who are doing their research and doing their due diligence. Let's share that information and let's get some rich dialogue happening within the community, because it helps all of us. Share that with us in the comments below. Let's move to strategy number 3. Strategy number 3. I want you to exhibit reflective practice. So remember, I talked about this was not about giving technical rote responses, and we weren't trying to check the boxes of what types of questions might we get, but I really wanted you to think about what are the habits of mind, what are the skill sets, what are the mindsets that you need to have to effectively show up in the assistant principal interview, but going a step beyond that, exhibiting reflective practice is a core leadership competency because we are going to make mistakes. And if you can exhibit reflective practice and start to talk about areas where you have learned to be reflective, you have learned to be adaptive, you have learned to be flexible, you have learned how to be resilient, you've learned how to persevere. These are all things you're going to need to be able to do at a high level to be an effective administrator and to be a seasoned and successful assistant principal. Because the assistant principal job, make no mistake about it, is a hard job. You are asked to do a lot of work and you're asked to connect a lot of dots. You have a lot of responsibility for kids. You have a lot of responsibility for adults. You are trying to connect the dots and make sure that the principal's vision is realized. You're balancing what the district's expectations are. You're balancing what parents and staff expectations are. Now, I'm saying all this not to scare you off from the job because it is a wonderful job, but I'm also here to tell you the realities of the work. And the more that you can stay in the frame of mind about continuous improvement, every day I'm trying to get 1% better. Every day I'm trying to learn something new. I am truly the embodiment of a lifelong learner. That's the way I go about it. Every single day we're learning and we're growing. Showcase that, highlight that, share that with panel members. Panel members want to know that you have a desire and a thirst for learning. As a sitting superintendent, if I was sitting in the room during your assistant principal interview, I would be listening clearly for that you are somebody who's reflective. You are somebody who clearly knows that there is a lot left to learn and that you're excited about learning new things and that you know that you are going to make mistakes, but you're going to learn from those mistakes. And then you will do after action reviews and you'll come back and you'll do program and process improvement and you'll learn and grow from the areas of opportunity, i.e. the challenges or the mistakes, or even, dare I use the word, failures that we have. We all have them. It's okay. How are we reflecting? How are we learning? How are we growing? And how are we getting better? Every day, a little bit better. So thinking about how you have that mindset and thinking about how you characterize that, share that, talk through that with panels is going to be an important strategy. Because the one thing I really do think, and the word that's really connecting with me right now in this moment as I think about being reflective and exhibiting and demonstrating that reflective practice, is the concept of humility. Like how to be a humble, hungry leader. Humble in that I'm learning, I'm growing, and I'm working to get better. But hungry, I will get better, and I will work harder, and I will do everything I can to learn that much more. So exhibiting that reflective practice starts with this core concept of being humble, being a humble person. Somebody who wants to grow and get better each and every day, right? So exhibiting reflective practice, strategy number 3. So if you've made it to this point in the episode, thank you so much for hanging in there with us. There were 3 strategies, a little bit different, but I was really excited again to start tapping back into the assistant principal area, because if there is a position that I think is critically important in the times that we live in and how we educate our kids and how we take care of our kids, the entry level position of assistant principal, we need the best and the brightest all the time. We need the best and the brightest going into that position, because we need to help those assistant principals turn into principals, and those principals turn into directors, those directors turn into assistant superintendents, and those assistant superintendents turning into superintendents. So we need to build a bench, and so we need the absolute best. And so we want to talk even more about the assistant principal position and how to help you be successful and continue to expand your leadership capacity and your leadership footprint. So thanks so much for staying to this point in the episode. And as a incentive for staying around, let's talk about one additional high-level strategy. This is one that sometimes makes people feel really uncomfortable, but I think it's a critically important one. And I'm going to tell a story around an experience when I did this specific strategy. So a bonus strategy is to conduct a mock interview. And I know in some cases that can feel super uncomfortable, can make people nervous, but the reality is doing a mock interview can and will boost your confidence, and it will help you be a lot more comfortable the more you do it, because it's about practice, practice, and more practice. So what I would strongly encourage would be to find a mentor, find a friend who can take you through some simulated questions, put you in a simulated interview environment. Now, I'll give you an example. When I was first really thinking I was getting prepared to want to do an interview to become a superintendent, I had a mentor who actually sat and did a mock interview process with me. And I wasn't super comfortable in doing that. And I had been pretty skilled at interviewing all the way up until that point, but he did a really good job. He was stoic. He asked questions. He didn't smile. He didn't give affirmations. As a matter of fact, he was a little bit stone-faced, and it made it even more challenging. But it made me really dig deep to make sure that I was pulling all of the different resources and assets and skills that are needed to thrive in an interview. And so don't be afraid to take this preparation and this mindset building and this asset and skill building that you're creating. Don't be afraid to take it to the next level and put yourself in a situation where you are doing mock interviews. So it's building your skills. It's building up that ability to be in that tense environment and be ready to be able to adapt as necessary. So conduct a mock interview. It's going to build your skills. It's going to build your confidence. That's going to be an important strategy. And that's your bonus tip for today. So there you have it. 3 mindset builders, skill builders to help you prepare for your next assistant principal interview. And I want you to go into it eyes wide open. We need great people at the assistant principal position. We need great new and emerging aspiring leaders to take us to the next level. Right? And so building your skills and knowledge is going to help. And so as you think about how you move forward, I want you to check out this next video, check out this next episode. It's going to continue to build your skills as you're getting ready for your assistant principal interview. And then again, if you got value out of the episode and you stayed here to this point, thank you so much. And I want you to share with a friend. I want you to like the video. I want you to subscribe to the channel. I want you to share it with 10 friends. The more we get this information out, and the more we build our community, the better. We want to grow the skills and knowledge of our educators community, and we want to build this community to 10,000 and beyond. So thank you so much for everything that you've done to help us grow to the point where we are today. And also, if you want more information about our newsletter, our resources, mentoring, coaching, check the description below for more information. And until we see you on our next episode, take care of yourself, take care of each other, and be well, everybody. Thanks so much.